Welcome back to ModCons. Today I am joined by the icon, the ex-icon, Annabelle Sanderson, the Queen of Wiltshire. How are you?
I'm well. Well, see, Lucy's the Queen of Somerset, so
Yes,
I
she
can be
is.
the Queen of Yorkshire.
Exactly. I felt like that's fair now.
Yeah, I'll let her have Somerset.
She can have some of that. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Annabelle.
Pleasure.
I know that you are very opinionated, and 99.9% of the time you're completely right. So I felt like this had to happen at some point.
I'm definitely opinionated, and I guarantee no one is right all the time.
That's true. That's the 0.1%. Yeah. So I guess we're going to start with the big news of the day. Andy Burnham just won in Makerfield. Did we see it coming?
Do you know what? I was going to put a bet on Andy Makerfield to win, but the
Yeah.
odds were so short.
Yeah.
So I didn't think it was a big surprise.
Yeah.
Um, uh, and do you know what? I said to my mum this morning, I was like, honestly, if it was the choice between Andy Burnham or someone from Reform, and she's conservative,
Yeah.
she's like, oh, I probably would have voted for Andy Burnham just to keep out Reform. And I
Yeah.
was just like, that's what the mix we're dealing with in this
That's it.
by-election it's like a cauldron
It's
of,
true.
of everything in there.
It's true. I was thinking though, because everyone seemed to have decided that he was going to win, and I just kept thinking last night, like, what if he actually doesn't win? What
What if he
is
does?
Starmer going to do then? We're just stuck with the guy forever because no one else can beat him.
Or you see, or was Wes Streeting out there? Did Wes Streeting go and get John Bercow to campaign for Andy
Yeah.
Burnham? Just to
That
try
was
and
so
get.
random, John Burko. Apparently he was running the board, which is yeah,
I know.
sounds about right. Just like shouting orders at everyone. Yeah, it sounds about
Also,
right.
but don't you use vote source? Don't you? I mean, I
Yeah,
know
I know. Get with the times, guys. Although I guess like where there's no signal, it's quite
yeah,
hard to use vote source. But
yeah,
yeah, well,
yeah. It's
I'll
quite a
let, I'll
niche.
yeah, exactly, niche. So obviously Burnham won the Makerfield by-election. He won by, well, the stonking mandate, as Boris would like to say, 55% of the vote.
Yeah.
Reform didn't even come close. They had 35. I guess, what do you think? Is that just because they had a terrible candidate? Is that just because they're a terrible party? Is that just because this was the change campaign and he was the only one that could do kind of instigate immediate change? What are your
I
thoughts
think it
on that?
was one, Reform picked a terrible candidate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's saying nothing about his plumbing abilities, right?
Totally, 100% that.
Probably, I've got a kitchen tap that needs doing, right? But the stuff he said on social media
Yeah,
was interesting.
yeah,
And if that had been a conservative saying that, I would have kicked off. Like,
totally.
totally. Um, then you had the fact that even after everything came out, he didn't apologize. You're
Yeah,
like, mate, say sorry.
yeah,
But there seems to be a thing with Nigel and Reform that they view saying sorry as some kind of weakness.
yeah,
It takes a bigger person to admit when you're wrong, actually.
yeah.
Then you had the Andy Burnham thing. So, see, this is one of the reasons I supported Kemi for the leadership is I
Yeah.
realised how strategic she was.
Right.
Nigel, from my own experience, is not strategic. They ran a local election campaign saying get Starmer out, knowing that Burnham was going to run for Parliament on
Right.
a get Starmer out.
Yeah, yeah,
If
yeah.
you wanted Starmer out, you'd why would you vote Reform? You know?
No,
So
that's it.
he was at the election at the time. He wasn't thinking down the line.
Mm.
So when everyone's like, well, yeah, we want rid of Starmer and we really want rid of Reeves, and then Miliband might go as well.
Yeah.
Great, so Andy Burnham. If you have a look at all the results, Lib Dems, Greens, Conservatives, like you can see the votes just went to Burnham.
Yeah, yeah,
Not
totally
some
that.
Conservative votes might have gone to Reform or maybe even Restore. The
Yes.
Restore thing is, can I be honest, hilarious. Just,
Have you met Rupert Lowe?
I've never met him.
Yeah.
A friend of mine is from Yarmouth.
Right.
Says, you know what? He really cares about his area. You
Yeah.
know, he's a real fighter. He's a
Yeah.
real fighter. Um, he predicted that he'd sweep the board in Yarmouth in the local elections, which he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
Difference being, I think, Restore can bust people in. So he said in
Right.
Yarmouth, they literally bust people into Yarmouth. So presumably they then bust people into Makerfield. Is
Yeah.
is that scalable? Not right now. But
Yeah.
you can't sit there. The lack of self-awareness to accuse another party of splitting the vote to let the left in.
Yeah, true.
is like Janet Street Porter accusing someone of having an annoying voice. You know,
Yeah.
it just, it's like Ed Miliband accusing someone of being nasal, right? You just
Yeah, exactly.
you can't do it. This
Yeah.
is life. This is democracy.
Mm.
And restore is a problem of Nigel's own making.
100% that. Yeah.
Suck it up.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
also, it's like do as you what goes around comes around, right?
totally.
Literally what he's done to every other party, he did to us. And now he's kind of crying about it. And I find that quite pathetic, really. It's like I thought
Big,
you were a
big
bit
brother.
more, yeah, I thought you had your big boy pants on. Like, what's going on here? Obviously, we'll come into reform restore a bit more.
Yeah,
But obviously, after the election result today, he's just done this video or his broadcast because he thinks he's like, I don't know, the king. He's done a
yeah,
broadcast on in a field in a
yeah.
suit, and I
In
just
a
find that
field.
really weird. Like he's in like a double-breasted suit, and I get it, like it's English gentleman vibes, but no English gentleman within his right mind would ever wear one on a field.
On a
Um,
field from an Airbnb in Surrey somewhere, or something like that. It's you're a middle class ex stockbroker, and actually, Nigel, you're a career politician.
he is.
But we know that he's. Um, I mean, I know we say, oh, we shouldn't bring politics down to sort of clothing and things. Sorry, I love fashion. That
Yeah,
was. I will happily criticise what someone else is wearing, and they are right to do it to me as well.
same, same.
But yeah, but he doesn't want the scrutiny, does he?
No, he can't handle it. He can't handle it at all. Yeah.
This is Nigel falls out with people.
Yeah.
Uh, and so what he didn't realize was, like, on paper, reform should have won Makerfield.
Yeah. Yeah. And they said that they would. And this is the reoccurring theme. They say they're going to win things and they just don't.
But the thing is, it's all very well saying, oh, we've been topping the polls, we're topping the polls. Yes, but in a five, six party system,
Yeah.
if you're maxing out at 30%, do the maths, that's 70% of people who don't like you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And they do forget that. They do. And you've
Yeah.
obviously had your own experience with Nigel Farage and like don't particularly rate him. Do you think like do you think he has what it takes to lead a party like this? A lot of the Restore voters on the doorstep said that they were voting Restore because they felt like if Nigel won, he wouldn't actually be PM and he'd like give it to like someone like Zia. They
Yeah.
don't feel like he would stick to the plan and do what he says he's going to do.
Nigel's a great campaigner.
Yeah,
Employ him as like a freelance campaign manager.
yeah,
But, I mean, I went to his committee meetings like more often than he did.
yeah,
This is what you're doing. This is the amendment we might put, that kind of thing.
yeah,
Exceptionally political. He reads the situation well. But does he want to sit there and read the work and
no,
do the work and read the detail? Nigel doesn't do details.
yeah,
When you're putting a leaflet together and scanning the room, amazing.
right, yeah,
Top line stuff. But this is a guy who, when we won Brexit, went back, see you, you
yeah,
know,
it's off.
bye.
Yeah,
It was always like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I can't be bothered. Oh, I want my life back.
yeah, yeah,
I'm thinking, do you really think, as Prime Minister, you're gonna have any life? You,
that's it.
you you're not.
Yeah,
And it's minutiae. It's dealing with the civil service. It's dealing with squabbles with
yes,
ministers. It's dealing with your backbenchers. And you can't just kick them all out.
yeah, no,
So
yeah,
yeah, big problem. That's a big problem.
that's his
Reform
issue.
is scalable, right? It's
Yeah,
like restore is potentially scalable, but if it's just a party run by one man and a social media account or whatever,
yeah,
you have to learn to trust other people, to take feedback, to give responsibilities to other people,
yeah,
and your job as leader is to go, right, how's that doing? How's that doing? Not my,
yes,
you know,
yeah,
and
yeah, for sure.
that's the problem.
Well, he's
So,
never in Parliament, is he? He's never there. He can't be bothered. I wonder how often he's in this parliamentary office. Probably never. I don't think he probably knows where it is. He's just all about the show. And
yeah,
like you say, he's a good campaigner, but I feel like he may have been out campaigned. Like Andy Burnham, to give him credit, was pretty relentless. I haven't seen campaigning like that for a while, and it was quite refreshing how much he was like on his fifth round of pounding the streets. He's like, sorry, it's me again. Hope you
yeah,
don't hate me.
great. Absolutely brilliant. I
Yeah,
mean, this is what politics should be about. Should be about
yeah,
knocking on doors and talking to people.
yeah,
You can't. I know we all have to use social media and everything like that, but when I stood for council, sort of a lot of the issues you got was from knocking and talking to people.
totally.
And that's what it is. It's the nuances, and that's when you like pick up casework and things like that as well.
Absolutely.
Let's
Yeah.
let's it's done. Just that can't happen if you run everything from a simple A5 leaflet saying get Starmer out.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then what?
And then what? Exactly. He doesn't know. He genuinely doesn't know. He's just like,
Because
what?
it's on
What
this
else?
election. We'll do these local elections, get Starmer out. Great. Now we've got a by-election. Well, we can't say get Starmer out because that's the Oppo's line. What do we say? Get Starmer in? What?
Keep
And
him
then
in and I'll get
after
him
the
out
election,
later.
exactly. And then what's after this one? What,
Yeah,
get Nigel out? Nigel's gone out.
I know.
It's going to be another by-election. I think
Yeah,
the
it's funny
by-election
because he kept talking. Yeah, he kept talking about, oh, Andy Burnham won because he fought on a national campaign. I thought, isn't that what you do at every election that you have a chance to fight?
in in Wiltshire,
Yeah,
Reform put out leaflets at the local elections saying stop the boats. Which boats are
yeah,
these? The canal boats were a landlocked county, right? Well, yes, he fought a national
exactly.
campaign. It's what you've done, mate. What he's
Yeah.
done is out campaign you.
Yeah, yeah, totally that, totally
Yeah,
that. So
yeah,
obviously he won with such a huge majority. He's increased the majority from the general election, which
yeah,
is incredible considering that that was their, incredible win. Well, it was a shallow win, but it
yeah.
was a huge majority.
Yeah.
I was watching his acceptance speech today, and he thanked Josh Simons for standing down to make change for the real, to make way for the real change. And
Real
obviously,
change.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's making lots of pointed comments without actually doing what needs to be done. What he said he was sent to do was to get rid of Keir Starmer, and we're wondering now,
Literally.
like, when's he actually going to do it?
Literally. I see. I listened to it. I said on a long drive today,
Yeah,
so I was listening to it all. It was a bit word salady for
yeah,
me. And then he started talking about procurement. I was like, oh
I
yes,
know. Yeah,
word on the streets, public sector procurement. Um, and then I thought, right, what are you going to do?
yeah,
Because and then I was listening to these other people, right? Because
yeah,
obviously, I imagine it's all little conversations going on right now.
yeah.
So it was, is it Joe White, the lady who is the Red Wall Caucus group?
Right. Okay. I don't know her.
Yeah. She's on yeah, she does a fair amount of interviews.
Yeah,
She came out and the Red Wall Caucus, who are sort of the more, well, I suppose, the sort of people that took seats from us, I suppose.
yeah,
Um, the patriotic old Labour is how I think of them.
yes,
They are now backing Burnham. Then
right.
someone called Kim Johnson popped on. I mean,
Yes.
a legend in her own house.
Liverpool. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
nowhere else. And she was like, yeah, but I'm welfare, not warfare. And I was like, that is opposite of what your colleague has just said.
Yeah. And also, we don't have money for that, so you can be it all you like. We can't pay for it.
Exactly. She went, well, you don't win hearts and minds with bullets. You do it with schools and hospitals. I was like, not if they're flattened.
Yes, exactly. Not if we're not here. We're all dead.
So it's going to be surely someone is going to go, look, Keir.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well done. You tried your best. But, who knew raising taxes on jobs was a terrible idea?
Yeah.
And, giving away sovereign territory, not popular. Or,
Yeah, the Chagos still. But
you know, getting rid of jury trials, basically decriminalizing shoplifting.
yeah.
Yeah, so well done. But it's time for someone else to have a go now.
Yeah.
Get off the swings.
Yes.
Andy wants to go.
Yeah, do you want to go? Yeah.
So I presume at some point they're just going to say to him,
Yeah.
look, you've,
Yeah.
you've got to. And then what happens? Then is it a coronation? What do you think, coronation? Or
Initially, I was thinking that they should have a debate, but I feel like it's slightly all redundant. And it all seems like it even seems like Wes Streeting, who wants this debate, is still trying to vie for a job. He did this big economic policy speech. Clearly, he thinks he should be Chancellor. So I feel like they're all just doing, like, they're going through the motions so that it looks like they're fighting, but so
yeah.
that then he needs to give them a job to make them stand down so that then they can join. It's just kind of all a bit performative. So we may as well just do it then if that's what's going to happen
Yeah,
anyway.
let's literally let's skip the coffee and yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, so then he's got to find jobs for people.
Yeah. Rachel
So
Reeves has to go. I don't care if it spooks the market. She has to leave. She's
the
the
market
cause of
has
most of
already
this.
spooked. The
That too.
market already, the banks have already said trouble's coming.
Yeah.
So I mean, I reckon she if I was sitting there voting in Makerfield, I'd be like, if I vote for Burnham, I get rid of Rachel
Yeah,
Reeves.
totally that. That's part of it, right? That change ticket has to include her. It just,
Oh, she has to go. She
yeah.
is the problem. And then he has the joy of
Mm,
giving chancellorship to presumably someone he wants to either either an ally,
mm,
which worries me.
yes.
Well, it all kind of worries me because they're all
They're all terrible.
total terrible.
Socialists.
You know what?
Nobody
Seriously,
wants this.
my mum could do it better. Give it to her. Give it to Marilyn.
Give it to Marilyn. Let's go.
Let's go for it. Um, or does he give it to one of the guys he doesn't want to stand?
Yes,
And
yeah.
obviously it's the guy because Labour don't have female
They
leaders.
have a women problem. Like Reform have a women problem, Labour have a women problem. What is that? It's really weird.
Yeah, I
Why
don't.
do they hate
I know
women?
Reform has a woman problem, right?
Yeah.
The fish rots from the head down.
Yeah.
Um, Labour, I don't. I genuinely.
They just don't trust them to run anything. It's really bizarre.
But you would
Unless
have
they're the
done it.
deputy.
But this is the party of Barbara Castle, right?
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
what happened to all these left-wing feisty women that actually did a huge amount for our generation, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now
Well,
we've
they've been
got Lou Haig. That's supposed to be the new power broker in town.
oh, they're the Queens of the North, apparently.
Yeah.
I think Queens of the North, I think something totally different. But
Yeah.
um, what was
Yeah.
the Transport Secretary?
She was. She was the phone lady.
Home lady. Was
I
it
don't want to make
food
any
lady?
accusations.
The dodgy Bangladesh issue
Oh
lady.
yeah, she's still around. It's surprising how many of them are still MPs. It's quite shocking. Considering I think she's wanted in another country in Bangladesh. It's like, yeah, it's just very
Yeah.
brazen. They just don't care that they
Housing
shouldn't be
Secretary
there.
lady. Housing Minister
Yeah.
lady. Yeah.
Angela Rayner, surprisingly, has been quite quiet. I thought she would have been by Andy Burnham's side this whole campaign, but she's quite quiet. And I wonder why that is. Do you
Maybe
think she knows she's not popular anymore because of the tax affairs, or is she just waiting for a cushy job to come her way? Or maybe she's going to go for mayor.
oh,
Never know.
I
Although she
don't.
does like to be in Brighton these days, so maybe she's
Yes,
like Manchester's too
absolutely.
far. Can't
Absolutely.
be
Yeah,
bothered.
exactly that beating heart of the working class that is
Yeah.
Brighton. Yeah, actually, where is Ange? Do you know what?
Exactly. Where is
I
Ange?
do have a bit of a respect for her. You know, when
Yeah.
people go, oh, she was a single mom, you know, blah, blah, I'm like, well, someone had to bring up the child. Have a go
Yeah.
at the man that left her,
No,
right?
yeah. It's true. It's a fair
So
point.
yeah, right. I don't have a. It's where you're going. It's not where you came from.
Yeah, totally that. Well, we're conservatives, of course we believe that.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure. Like, see, that's the thing. Keir Starmer's from North London, right?
Yeah.
Is this the end of champagne socialism, North
I think
London?
it might be, although Hugh Grant did go to Andy Burnham's campaign centre, so I don't know how much it is the end of champagne socialism, but it does feel a bit more authentic Labour. Nothing's really changed. It's still, a guy, a bloke who was a politician, but it does feel a bit more like true Labour roots, the vibe. I don't know if it actually will be like that with policy, but it does vibe authentic, if that makes any sense.
It's certainly more than Keir Starmer, right?
100% that.
Keir Starmer was just he felt that after being Director of Public Prosecutions, this was like, well, someone else has got the Chancellorship of Oxford, so I'll be the Prime Minister.
Yeah, it's his calling to save us
Yeah.
all from.
But being able to pay the bills and go on holiday,
Yeah,
if I were him,
yeah,
if I were him, if this was me, which is not going to be, bang to the head, I'd probably be putting John Healey in as Chancellor,
that's interesting.
so it won't happen.
Yeah,
Because
John
you're
Healy.
like, you want to increase defence, right? Off you go.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
increase
true. Yeah, figure out how
defence
you're
to
going to
do
pay
it.
for it.
Yeah.
John.
And you can, and he will, and then he'll say cut welfare. If he gives
Yeah,
it to Miliband,
disaster.
I mean,
He's a
literally,
zealot. He's not just a zealot, but he's also super stubborn. Like the fact that he was actually what ghosting the PM. Like I know he's bad, but if you hate him so much, just quit. Don't be in his cabinet and then have the audacity to ignore his calls. Like that's actually
yeah,
outrageous. Also,
that's like
energy.
proper Mean Girls, isn't it?
Yeah, an energy secretary is not a big job. Like I think
Yeah,
he's like way above his britches. Like,
yeah,
who do you think you are?
yeah, exactly.
What is
I know.
this?
So part of me obviously wants him to go from, you know, the Department of Wind Turbines and making everyone poor, but then will he just if he's I don't want him to be Chancellor because
Yeah,
he's wrong all the time.
Yes.
And then he would just control that department anyway.
Yeah.
I wonder if Streeting gets it.
I think Streeting will get it. And I think that's the only reason why Streeting's being used to trigger this, because I think Streeting even knows. I think it's quite obvious that Streeting is the kind of person they're putting out to take the initial blows. He dropped him in at question time. He's like, oh, well, where's this going to do it? So if he does it, I'll do it. And it seems like the deal is, look, you take the hit, you be
Yeah.
Brutus, and I will let you be
Yeah.
Chancellor.
Yeah. And you know what? He is, I mean, I know it's sort of all shades of grey because it's Labour, but he is at least slightly more.
Yeah.
West Streeting was it said, let's get rid of NHS England.
Yeah, that's true. And we do
I
have
wish we'd
to
done
give him
that.
that. That's true. That was wise.
Yeah.
That was wise.
I mean,
I
he hasn't
mean,
done it.
yeah, I don't think he's actually done it yet, but still. So interestingly enough, at this big conference, or not conference, but thank you speech to all of his activists, it was interesting to see who was there. So you had Stephen Kinnock, who I thought is still a Minister of Health. Like, what's he doing in the background?
Yeah. But so,
Josh,
yeah, yeah.
Josh Simons, Miana, what's her name? Miata Fanbule, who is a big Ed Miliband ally. And also, she was given a ministerial post within her, like, she was a new intake and she got one straight away, like Georgia Gould. She apparently is running his policy. So that's the only concern, that if she is running the policy and she's Ed's girl, then is that, yeah, the
I
sign.
mean, literally, I said this to my mum. My mum, we chat all the time because I'm like, you lived through the 70s, what did you do?
Yeah,
I
tell
was
me, Mum, what
like, we,
happened?
how did you?
How did you
We
survive?
started in a school, all the lights used to go out. Um, and I was like, are we just clinging to the side until 2029? She's like, yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah,
Right. Look, we're a family. We just got to stick together, hold on,
yeah. Let's
wait for
hold
the
on,
light
guys.
to come along, right? You know,
That's
because with the best will in the world, even if Wes Streeting, right, who is my sort of least, the only one I would actually go, okay, I'll give you a
Mm.
chance, actually, would be Shabana Mahmood.
Yeah, exactly. She's strong. But then I feel like anyone else as Home Secretary is just going to be letting
Yeah.
everything go wrong again.
Well, but you see, when I was listening to this Kim Johnson woman, she was
Yeah,
like, I totally disagree with that. We've got to scrap all these ILR changes and everything like that. I'm thinking,
yeah,
you are a party that is divided as the
yeah.
Conservative was in the 90s on Europe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Totally, totally. Well, she's in that like Richard Bergen wing, like they're very left.
Yeah.
So I think she's always going to be in the minor. Well, you'd hope she'd always be in the minority,
She
but
actually, she actually. So bearing in mind, Makerfield win, new Prime Minister, banks going, okay, we're going to be raising taxes here.
yeah.
New figures out today on government borrowing. By the way, it's more than my credit card bill on shoes. It's big, right? And she was like, and yeah, and what I want Andy Burnham to do is talk about Gaza.
Yeah, I know. And
This
it's also tone deaf. It's like this is not what the British people have just put you, well, given him the mandate to do. Well, not that he really has one to do anything nationally, but the people of Makerfield were very clear what the issues were, and Gaza wasn't on the ballot at all
no, no, no.
anywhere.
Apparently it was in Hackney. Uh,
Yeah. Liverpool
Bristol
maybe,
is a
where
big
she
issue, apparently. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Gorton and Denton
So,
was actually, but
well, I mean,
a whole
thank God they've
different thing.
solved it. That's all I can say.
Yeah, I know. Sorted, sorted. So obviously Keir Starmer reacted. So he tweeted, "Well done, Andy." And then
Oh,
he
John.
said, it's a vote for positivity and hope over division, as he says, and kind of ignoring the elephant in the room. And then he went on to the TV today to then say, what did he say? He thanked all the activists for campaigning so hard for Andy Burnham. And he said that he'd messaged him or contacted him to say thanks and they'd catch up over the weekend. And I thought, oh gosh, you don't know what's in store for you because he will be catching up with you over the weekend.
Oh, I want to be a fly on the wall for
I
that one.
know, I
Oh,
know.
Andy, it's great to see you. So
So,
pleased.
so, so obviously we've got a recess in Parliament. So it would be obvious, well, it would seem that that's the window he wants to kind of, Andy Burnham would want to figure out what he's going to do to save the country. But it just depends on whether he'll be able to get Starmer out in time. It's actually not that far away. It's less than a month away.
A
Uh,
month to get rid of a prime minister.
yeah. But I
So
think what there are 90 now, 97 or something MPs, Labour MPs, more have been added today. I think Dawn Butler came out today because I think she thinks Andy Burnham will back her for London Mayor if she backs him for PM. So it's all very much like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. We're not the Tories, but we are, and we're worse, but we think we're much better. It's kind of a very bizarre repeating of history, but like on steroids and without any moral compass.
literally, I know. And you're sort of thinking, I thought the way you got rid of a prime minister was to give him a piece of cake, but turns out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, see, this is the thing. So he's got to, Starmer has got, someone's got to put Starmer out of his misery. We can't
Yeah.
do this.
No.
I think it'll be his wife.
Yeah, I think it will be too. Because I think today he was bunkering down with Lord Hermer, who's just the worst, and Baroness Chapman, who seems to think the sun shines out of him. It's like his team is dwindling. It's now three, and I think David Lammy, who like that's not
Literally,
helpful. I think
yes.
David Lammy on your
Literally
team.
three is like the minimum for Twister, right?
So I think he's probably can see the writing on the wall, but it seems like he's not instinctively a quitter, so he just can't admit to himself that it's over, I guess.
But you know what? Like, I remember when I realized I was no good at French, right? Just admit it. I can't play tennis. I am never going to be able to play tennis, right? Just deal with it. Find something else you can do, right? You're a multi-millionaire, right? You're a lawyer, you've got a
Yeah,
lovely wife and kids.
yeah,
Take up watercolors. You
yeah,
know, do something because
yeah.
this isn't it. This is me in the boulangerie, making a fool of
Boulangerie.
myself.
I love it. So the Conservatives. So obviously there wasn't only one win in town, and there was a bigger, better win if you're on our side of the world or our side of thinking. The Conservatives won in Aberdeen,
Aberdeen.
Stephen Flynn's old seats, and it was a
Yeah.
pretty solid win. I mean, indisputable, really. What are your
Like,
thoughts on that?
so I was sitting there going, right, no, I'll just wake up in the morning. No, I did not go to bed
Oh,
until the
that's so
result came
sweet.
in. I was like, no. And then I remembered I'd put a bet on. That's the one I did put a bet
I
on.
love it.
Yes. So I was like, ooh,
I'm in the
won't.
money.
What I normally do in an election is I'll put a bet on someone I think will win, but isn't going to make me happy if they win. So at least if they
Right.
win some money. But this was a double.
Nice.
I was thrilled with this
Yeah.
election. I just, all the focus was on Makerfield,
Yeah.
and quietly it was like hare and tortoise.
Mm.
It's all plumber, Carol Vorderman
Yeah.
running in shorts. And then over here, it's just like, right. So basically, the biggest policy that affects our entire living standards, and we can have a referendum on this.
Yeah.
Let's get out there and do it.
Absolutely.
And we
Absolutely.
did it. Oh my God, what a team, what a result. I was seeing all these people going, come and join us. I'm thinking it's quite far.
Bit
So
of
I
a
was going,
way.
it's literally the other, couldn't be any further away. I've only been to Aberdeen once. I got the
Yeah.
free from there when I went to Shetland.
Nice.
And it is, it's my new favorite place,
Yeah.
Aberdeen's.
No, it
Yeah,
was it was really good. And I think you're right. It was such a vote of confidence in what our policies are and what our energy policies are. And I think that's exactly what we needed. But the question is now, how is it going to be implemented? Because obviously it's not necessarily in our control at this moment. Um,
mm.
will the SNP now be like moving, shifting towards actually making the most of our resources? Will Andy Burnham see this win from us and be like, actually, this seems like a good plan? Sorry, Miliband. What do you think is going to happen after this now?
Well, then it depends. So it depends what Miliband's going to do, right?
Yes,
Because
true.
if he is Chancellor, then he can put someone in as Energy Secretary who can go. To be honest, I don't think they will listen.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I listened to the SNP is a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
I listened to, I think it was a former advisor saying actually the SNP on this is split. The Conservatives did a brilliant campaign.
Yeah.
It was a really nicely run campaign,
Mm.
like with both sides being nice, polite to each
Yeah.
other, and then the SNP say, "No, well done,
Yeah, they
congratulations."
were really nice, magnanimous about it.
Yeah,
Sweet.
and I was like, this, what happened in Makerfield puts people off politics.
Yeah.
Spiteful, nasty. That was literally on one man's job. It's like Kemi said, that was on one man's job. This is
Yeah.
on thousands of people's jobs,
Totally.
and not just that, tens of thousands of people's
Yeah.
jobs. Because if we get energy policy right, we can stop
Mm.
being called them. for.
Exactly.
Um, and that was on personalities.
Yeah.
Um, Although that always reminds me of the Blackadder sketch. We're running on policies and personalities because I
Yeah.
can't have a personality. But and this was right. You're right. They ran it on policy,
Yeah.
and this is the difference between us
Mm.
and actually all the other parties.
Yeah.
Labour came to the government thinking that they'd done the hard work by winning.
Yes. Totally.
Reform, literally, what are the policies?
Then nobody knows. They change every day. And
They
then he
change.
just shrugs.
They
He's like, oh, well,
Yeah,
what does that
they do that.
mean? That's not how you
No,
can run a
that's
country on a shrug.
not it. That you can change your lunch order maybe once. You can't keep doing this.
He's like, well. Like, why are you asking me? What?
Yeah. So, Lib Dems. So Dan Minor,
Who?
the main opponent, is the Lib Dem, and literally everyone else forgets them. I'm sitting there going,
Who?
no,
Where?
I've got a
What?
Lib Dem MP. I've got a Lib Dem run council.
Yes, yes. In the
Yes,
Southwest, it's pretty Libby.
it's, but you actually knock on people's doors, and I go, why do you vote for them? And they're like,
We see them sometimes. They tell us
yeah.
about the pavements they've fixed.
Oh, do you know they organised the best litter pick? Oh, brilliant. I
Like,
thought,
cool. And also, they probably didn't organise it. They probably just jumped on someone else's litter pick and said that they organised it, took
it's,
credit
oh,
for it.
it's, we have policies.
Yes,
We have,
exactly.
and a lot of my friends, when Kemi won, a lot of
Mm.
my friends, well, she needs to come up with policy. And they're, oh, well, we need to get rid of her. And these tended to be the people who voted
You've
for
gone
right?
and are now
Uh,
desperate to come back. No, we don't want you back. Thanks.
yeah, oh no, they're still in the Tory party, but actually they're
Oh,
still
okay, gosh.
at me. And I'm like, sorry, it's called planning, it's called strategy.
Exactly.
And she did it right because it
Yeah,
meant that she went out and on an election like this,
yeah,
if we have a by-election in, I don't know, Tewkesbury,
yeah,
um,
yeah,
you know, we've actually sitting there going, right, this is it. Here's
yeah.
the number, right? Here's the plan.
We've got policies. We
We've
know what
we've
we're
got
doing.
we know what we're doing. We know why we failed, and by
Yes.
the way, was our fault, not the voters' fault.
Yes, yes. And that's something Farage did in his weird broadcast today. He blamed the voters, which he's never done before and was a real rookie mistake. He made two mistakes. He said that he came second in Arbroath. Is that how you say it?
Yeah,
Arbroath? Which was wrong. We came second. And
yeah.
he also said, oh, you voters, think about what you've done voting for Restore. Think about it. It's like,
Yeah, I know. You get shades of my mother, right? She's hovering around it. You don't blame the voters,
never
right?
blame the voters.
Never blame the voters. And then Richard Tice was talking about tactical voting. Doesn't matter if it's tactical voting.
Yeah.
Tactical voting is still a vote. Don't say, oh, Bob and Mary get one vote because they're always Labour, but Joan and Bill, they tactically vote, so it's only half.
Yeah.
It's
It is
it
what it
doesn't
is.
it,
Yeah.
deal with it, guys.
Yeah.
You want to play in the Premier League. This
Hmm.
is what you have to deal with.
Want to play with the big boys. This is what happens. So, as you mentioned briefly, there may be a by-election in Tewkesbury. A Lib Dem MP has been potentially coercing and assaulting people, which is a bit depressing and worrying.
Grim. It's just grim.
Yeah.
Just, just like I think it's because there should be such a strict procedure
Yeah.
for selecting candidates
Yes.
because it is such a position of privilege
Yeah.
that we should be having people who they're making decisions on our behalf.
Yeah. Exactly that.
And it's like, so it's not that far away from where, so I don't know what's going on in the Southwest right now. But we've got obviously one in Somerset and now one up
Yes.
in.
That seems to be going for a very long time. Nothing's really moved on that. Does it sound like anything's happening there?
No, I understand there are conversations about
Right.
doing official selection from our side.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, Tewkesbury is always one of our target seats
Conservative
anyway.
seat, yeah.
So, it's, I mean, this guy, he's like an RAF. I mean, look, he might be
It
totally
might be,
innocent.
yeah, he might be totally innocent.
Absolutely.
But they've
And
suspended the whip before they've even determined that. So it seems a bit strong if you think there's a chance he's innocent, to suspend the whip and remove him from the party if it's
yeah,
something that's nothing.
yeah, exactly. If you thought actually, I mean, because if you're in the public eye, you can get accused of stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I think you need to be in a position where if you are wrongly accused, that your colleagues have your back. And you
Yeah,
might want to be in a case where actually you just sort of go, right, do you know what? I will take the whip off myself and go and sit over here until
yeah,
it's all sorted. I
yeah,
think one of ours did that.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll see, eh? Because the thing is, the Lib Dems are so devoid of scrutiny.
Well, this is it. This is it. And I think this might be a turning point for the Lib Dems because the country mostly, and like the parts of the country that aren't political and haven't worked with Lib Dems seem
Yeah.
to think that Lib Dems are very harmless and very warm and fuzzy and they're the easy, safe
Yeah.
choice to make politically.
People who
But
don't
any,
really do
yeah,
politics,
yeah,
they're the option. I should vote. I'm a nice person. I'll vote for the Lib Dems. And you're
yes.
saying, oh my God, they don't know what a woman is. You do not know what a woman is. My bin hasn't been collected.
They won't let anyone have meat, park in the city centre, kind of
Oh my
destroying
God.
the local economy in Oxford. It's a disgrace what they're doing.
So Bath, no one who has been in Bath would have been surprised that Bath and North East Somerset Council was like in the top 10 for awful roads. I mean,
Right.
medieval track. And, like it is a state, but unfortunately, Bath is one of those places. It's very beautiful. It's like Bath,
Yeah.
Richmond, all these kind of places.
Beautiful.
Very beautiful. And people, I think they feel, well, they can afford luxury beliefs.
Yeah.
Um, but also maybe they're like, oh, we're quite well off, but I don't really want to vote Labour because they'll put up my taxes. I
Yeah.
can't vote Tory because they're mean.
They're evil.
I vote Lib Dem.
Yeah.
And it's sort of, actually no. But Tewkesbury is one that again, we should win. I think we
Yes.
could win that
Yeah.
again on policy.
Yes, on policy.
Things like high streets, and law and order.
Yeah.
Because when I'm sitting there in Bath, and it'll be the same in high streets up and down the country,
Yeah.
basically been decriminalised.
Yes,
You know,
which is a problem. And I think that's got to be the first thing that anyone coming in under the kind of change mandate has to do. That has to be tackled because it's like the broken window theory, isn't it? It's these small little things that grate on people and really frustrate people because they see other people around them not following the rules. Like every time I go into London now, I just see people pushing through the barriers and the people standing there not doing anything. And it just irritates me because it's like I've paid for my train into London. I paid for my tube around London, and there's just some kind of wally, for lack of a
yeah.
nicer word, just
Well done.
not giving a you know what about
You know
anything.
what
And
I
it's
saw
just
when I
not
was in
acceptable.
London?
Yeah.
You know what I thought? What? Someone doing crack.
Oh my God.
Right. And but you think that, but then you're kind of like London, right? Then the other
No.
day, down the road on a street in Bath that is
Yeah.
actually name checked in Northanger Abbey,
Yeah. Yeah.
a woman with her trousers down and a needle sticking out her
Oh
groin
God. Oh God. That's pretty.
in Liberal Democrat Bath. And
Stop.
you know what? I feel so sorry for the police and our
Yeah.
amazing community wardens and like the local businesses in Bath sort of club together with the
Yeah.
business. We have got little radios and things like that.
Nice.
It's do you know what? The judges just let them out and they're like,
Yeah.
I call them Lammy's laws now. They're like, well, we can't remand you in custody because chances are you won't get a sentence
Yeah.
if you are found guilty. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, this is it. It's the smell of drugs on the high street. It's the
Yes.
graffiti. It's the knowing that why am I going to work whilst they're coming in and robbing on demand? Like the taxi
Yeah.
driver said, I had a guy in the back of my cab with a load of bags that he steals on demand.
Wow. Wow. It's so funny. Like this is a really weirdly, it might be a bit rude, but I don't normally get like delivery or Uber Eats or anything. And I had for the first time ever an English Uber Eats delivery guy. And I was so shocked, but he
Yeah.
was so nice. Like I ordered like this Wagamama ramen, which is yeah,
Yeah.
giving away too much information about my life. But I ordered this Wagamama ramen and it came all spilled and broken and there was basically no ramen left. And he was like, I'm so sorry, he came outside my door. He's like, I just want to let you know it's a bit damaged and so sorry. He messaged the team to try and get my, order cancelled. And he just kept apologizing. I was like, oh, it's really okay. It's fine. Thank you so much. Blah, blah, blah. So then I reordered it. An hour later, I get this guy completely in the wrong place. Oh, come down here, come down here. I'm like, well, that's not the address because someone's literally just come here. So I know I've put the right place. You put it down wrong. You put it down wrong. I
Yeah,
get
because
there.
it's
He's like,
you, because yeah, it's
it's
not like you
my
know where you
fault.
are. Yeah.
He's my fault. He's so rude to me. And I'm just like,
This is
it's
why I
just
don't.
so symbolic of like what's wrong with the country at the moment. It's just like,
So,
I don't mind that people aren't, accustomed to the rules or the customs, but if someone's trying to guide you and tell you that you're doing the wrong thing or that this is how it's done, like there's just so blatantly like, I don't care. Like, yeah, it's
but that's
just,
the thing. I don't care. No, I get
yeah,
it. I live up a path, and I get people. I was like, leave it in the porch. Can you see
yeah.
the porch? No, I've knocked on the door. Well, you haven't. Like,
You haven't, I can see
we're in the wrong house. Yes,
you.
and it's just. But to be honest, I actually stopped using Deliveroo and all those
Yeah.
kind of things. So I was like, no, no, I'm either going to make it myself or I'm
Yeah.
going to
It's too
get.
stressful. It's like I'm actually paying for this service. It's like the things I get frustrated about public services, like NHS when they're really rude to you. And it's like, I know you think it's free, but it's actually not free. All of this is being paid for by the taxpayer, and you're either wasting it or being really awful and you're not delivering a good service. It's just these tiny little things that like this is why people get angry and they go into the streets and they burn things because they're just so frustrated.
Yeah, I mean that would be. We don't tend to do that in Wiltshire.
No, no, I have never burnt
We'll
anything in the
go.
streets, but still. So yeah, so anyway, that's our rant about Lib Dems and Broken Britain.
Oh, honestly, it's just literally lanyard, funny coloured hair. Yeah, honestly, and
Yeah.
then and obviously obligatory bloke in a frock.
I don't get much of that, but yeah, why
Come
not?
to it.
So the restore reform thing, just before we kind of finish with some random stuff, do you think that restore are now the kind of alternative right? Do you think that people have more faith in restore than they do reform? And yeah, like where do you stand, like roughly, if you are an ex-conservative that's kind of not ready to come back to the Conservative Party, where do you think is the authentic alternative? Do you still see that, or would you still see that as reform, or do you think people have moved away from reform now and they're kind of over it?
So Nigel is probably Reform's biggest asset and its biggest weakness.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and I really don't think the media appreciate the depth of feeling that people who have worked with him have
Yes.
against
Yes.
him. So, and you know what? There's a group of people that I know from my UKIP days,
Yeah.
and all the guys I was friends with were all back in Tories, all in Conservatives, having a lovely time, going and going, this is right, no deals, no deals. And I think Rupert was the same. He was just like, well, what did I? He did an interview, said we want policy, and then all of a sudden he's kicked out, and
Yeah, he
Rupert's
didn't actually do anything.
and Zia's reported him to the police.
Madness.
Sitting there going, this is called karma, right? You
Yeah.
cannot treat people consistently badly and then expect it all to be fine. And then just,
Yeah.
and I think in the past, a lot of people Nigel has upset have maybe disappeared into the background.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that's actually because a lot of them have been women. And then he
Maybe.
picked a fight with Rupert, who has money and a
Mm.
fan of Elon
Yes.
Musk, who just,
Yeah.
and was then an MP, and they went, hold my beer, right? I've got this.
Yeah.
Do I don't really know what Restore's policies are. I
Yeah.
don't know if them, right? But then I don't know what Reform's policies
No,
are, apart
exactly that.
from they
Yeah.
want to nationalise stuff. Are
Mm-mm.
they just going to have this ever-moving competition to try and deport the most number of people?
Yeah.
Should I, should,
Yeah.
should Nigel be worried? He's a Huguenot. Does that go back far enough? Right.
Yeah, exactly.
My family came over, my ancestors came over here in 800 on a small boat, but it was from Scandinavia. So I'm probably, but this is it. It's
Yeah.
not serious, right?
No.
2029
Mm.
is going to be about the economy.
Yeah.
This country, as I said, we're going to be clinging on, going, come on, come on. I'll help you pay your tax bill and you help
Yeah.
me pay
Yeah.
mine. We'll just wait until Kemi takes control and sorts stuff
Exactly.
out. And I don't see either of those parties
No. Yeah.
anything like a robust enough plan on. You cannot blame everything on foreigners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if you got rid of all foreign criminals from UK prisons, right? Even if you stopped every single person who'd come over here on ILR or anything like that
Yeah.
from social housing or benefits, we would still have too many people
Mm.
not working. The economy still wouldn't be functioning at its optimum.
Yeah.
And if we want great public services, if we want a better standard of living, if we want our children to be better off than we are, then we have to get the economy
Yeah.
going.
100%. Yeah. We
And
do.
and and they aren't offering
They're
that.
not thinking
They're
about that.
blaming everything. It's like
Mm.
it's like Argentina in the 1980s, and then what happened there? Oh, they picked a war with Falklands because everything was going wrong domestically.
Yeah.
And so I just think they're both inauthentic,
Yeah.
just angry men.
Yeah.
And like if you put them down, get a conservative woman to do it.
Here we go. That's it. That's it. I think, like everyone's kind of acknowledged that they are the grievance, but especially Reform are the party of grievance. And now they're kind of just chasing Restore, but neither of them really, particularly Reform, don't have really any solutions. I think probably Restore probably have a better, I guess Rupert Lowe has a clearer vision of what he wants to end up as, but neither of them know how they're going to get there.
Yeah.
And neither of them really know what they're doing. You know,
Oh, I
without
don't
being
really
rude. I
understand the
respect I
no.
respect Rupert Lowe, but I think I mean,
Yeah.
where's he going to find 650? Like, it's the same problems that Reform have. Where are you going to find 650 genuinely competent people to stand up
Yeah,
and
exactly.
be your
You know,
candidate?
and in fairness to Rupert, right? He took his job, he takes his job in Parliament really
Yeah, yeah,
seriously.
he does. He
He was
does.
on it. Absolutely. You know, I think that's why Kemi was like, right, he can have the seat in
Yeah,
public. Why I think lovely Rosie from Canterbury has probably one of our allocated seats.
yeah,
Because if there are good people who are independent, sort of
yeah.
great to them. But what would be the point of giving a public accounts committee seat to Lee Anderson?
He,
Yeah.
he wouldn't take it, but yeah,
But you
I don't know what he'd do with it.
take his advocates. I don't know. Just he said numbers didn't matter. He said no one cared about the numbers. I'm
Yeah.
like, really? Who? Because I
Really?
want our to spend more money on defence than on servicing the debt.
Yes,
Thanks for
100%. Yeah. Interest, debt interest.
it. Interest, just the interest.
Just the interest.
Literally,
So
government
yeah,
run by
finally before
farmers.
we go, we've got some random things going on. Obviously, we've got Trump in Iran not making deals, I guess. I don't really understand what he's doing. His deal, he always said Obama's deal was so bad, but it seems like this one might be worse. But am I wrong? I don't know. Maybe I've missed something.
Literally. I mean, this is the no strategy thing.
Yeah.
The best he can hope for is that it's roughly the same as before he started.
Yeah.
Iran's won this.
They're fine.
I'd say that they've got what all their assets released and time.
And I think he's paying them money to rebuild as well, like billions of pounds, dollars to,
Like $300 billion, and they keep saying, "Oh, we're not giving them anything," but you're like, actually, it's from I think it's unreleased assets and
right.
oil, something like that. A good friend of mine, if anyone wants to find out more about it, Andrew Fox. Check him out on X,
Yes.
and he's much better than me. But yeah, I just find it
Right.
I just absolutely humiliating.
Yeah. I don't think he expected it. And I don't know why he didn't, because surely he was prepped before he did it that this might happen. But
But he
it
probably didn't
seems to
listen.
think, yeah, I think he thought he was invincible, and it's been a bit of a
Yeah,
wake-up call.
yeah, it's fine. I was on The Apprentice. I'll do it.
It's cool. I did it with Venezuela. It's fine. It's gonna
Yeah,
work.
that's what he thought it was. He was going to be
Yeah.
Venezuela.
Yeah. It just did not work out the same, unfortunately, for him
Um,
and us. Inflation. So also we've got under 16s, the social media ban. Do we
yeah.
actually think it's going to happen now? We don't even know what Andy Burnham thinks about this. Does he want this? We don't know. He's going to be the Prime
We don't
Minister in a
know.
week.
We don't know. I mean, literally, we don't know what's going on. I mean, I think that I don't have children.
Yeah, same.
I think if I did, I'd be like, right, you can have a brick phone.
Yes.
I think children spend too much time on screens.
Yeah.
And I get that they've got to also, why block YouTube but not Blue Sky?
Yes.
It
It's
just
political,
it's
isn't it?
it's knee
Ideological.
jerk, isn't it?
Mm.
It's just knee jerk. It's like they
Yeah.
never think that someone's completed the prevent program unless they come out as a Labour voter,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
so you know that yes, some children will get round it. I think it's the culture change. It's
Yeah.
like it did reduce people. We just got used to it.
Yeah, true.
I think that's the way it will work. And let's get children running outside again.
That would be good.
Yeah.
I see kids outside sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's refreshing.
Do you know
They're
what?
learning
Like,
to
I don't
talk to each other.
know. My mother, there she is again, would like summer holidays. I don't want to see you.
Yeah, go on.
Literally,
Be
go
free.
away.
Yeah, enjoy.
I don't. I mean, how us children of the 80s
Yeah.
like survived? Yeah, I don't know.
Well,
We used to.
we had those things that went down the stairs. That was our entertainment. You know those
Yeah, Blinkies.
and conkers. That's what we did.
Yes. Well, you can't have that, which we used to bake, put in vinegar to make them hard. Yeah. I used to walk to school. I know.
So
Crazy.
yeah, you can make your own fun, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
A lot of fun to be had out there.
yeah.
Well, look, Annabelle,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me today on ModCons. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been
Yeah,
great.
it's been great. It's been so great to speak with you. Any final thoughts on the week? Anything that stuck out that you're like, gosh, or happy this
No,
is
to
how
be
things
honest,
have
I'm just
ended up?
like, you know what? I'm so happy. Do you know what? What a great set of election results.
Yes,
Two, three gains at
yes,
council. Westminster gain, I think about four holds.
yes.
Come on, come on.
I know. And we got two
Yummy.
gains from Reform as well, locally as well. So that was a win.
Yeah, brilliant. So I think it's, we're on the right trajectory.
We are. Well, Annabelle, thank you
Brilliant.
so much for joining me today on ModCon.